Hello there and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing Ahsoka. This is season 1, episode 8 or part 8. We don't know the real title yet, of course. But I am so excited to see how they're going to wrap up this season or this series, depending on whether they do get a season 2 or not, and like what sort of story elements are going to be carried over into the upcoming movie and yada yada yada. Like, is Thrawn and the others going to be able to leave this galaxy? I think so. And what about Ahsoka and Sabine and Ezra? Huyang, who are also there, are they going to be trapped, or are they also going to be able to make their way back and be reunited with everyone else? I think that might happen, but yeah. Do you have any like big expectations or theories, or well, just anything else to say before we jump into it?
Not in the theory department, just that I tried to do some Thrawn-inspired makeup, but I just think I look more like a tropical fish or an alien or something like that. Not very Thrawn-like.
I could see what like.
And I mean like Rebels Thrawn. So
yeah.
He has like those like markings, like not markings, but like he has very protruding areas of his face. And I was trying to
clear features.
Yeah, I was trying to do those, but it's just not. It's not coming through. I tried.
There's the blue and the red, and hopefully people can see that, you know, it's because of like it's an homage to Thrawn.
I didn't have so much time. Like I didn't have time to put on like the whole shebang, so I just tried to do something in between. But yeah, I'm not satisfied. I didn't have time to take it off and start over. So here we are.
Fair enough. And I should also say, like, we're both a little bit under the weather today. Feeling a little bit sick. It's
childcare pest. You know, when you put your child in daycare, whatever,
yeah,
like
not childcare, daycare,
kindergarten, whatever, and they just like get all of these new germs back home with you, and you combat one after the other of those freaking virus. So
just the joys of being parents, I guess. Yeah, all right. Before we jump into it, I do want to ask you guys too, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Also, check out the Patreon page where you can watch the uncuts. We do have early reactions and some exclusives over there. And any support is always greatly appreciated. If you can't do that, then just give the video a like, throw in a comment. That also helps out a lot. So yeah, and just in general, thank you for watching. Are you ready? Yes, let's get into this season finale of Ahsoka. Here we go.
Dispatch 2 TIE fighters if they find their mark. Tell them to engage.
There is little the Jedi can do to stop us now.
I've watched many an Imperial officer make the same assumptions about the rebellion.
Yeah. Don't underestimate them.
Heroics of a single Jedi. Never again.
Come forward.
Come forward and what?
Your loyalty? Your life? My loyalty. My life.
What does this mean? Oh. Ew. That looks uncomfortable.
Yep.
But hey, we're seeing a little bit of that green Night Sister magic. I would like for it to be a bit more flashy, for lack of a better word. Oh, there we go. What, are they giving her like a weapon or something?
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
The blade. Oh, Telsin.
Oh! Oh, Telsin. Oh. That's pretty cool. I guess we're gonna see Morgan fight Ahsoka again?
Yeah.
What I'm really interested in, though, is Baylan.
Yes.
What is he up to?
The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. It's a bit reminiscent of that.
Narnia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Jedi, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I'm sure a lot of other people have made that joke. Oh.
Building a new one?
The blade emitter's too narrow.
Now look here, I have been teaching younglings how to construct lightsabers longer than you've been alive.
Listen to Huang.
Who taught you how to build a lightsaber anyway?
Kanan Jarrus.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Tell me everything I know.
And I taught him how to build a lightsaber.
What?
Of course.
Sabine?
I told you. I taught almost...
I just told you.
The boy Caleb was very curious.
Caleb Doom.
How old are you?
Old enough to know that the relationship between a master and an apprentice is as challenging as it is meaningful.
You could say that again.
I had two of those. Kanan took the one, the other I held on to in case he ever needed it. It is proper that you should have it.
What sort of crystal? Oh, blue!
Well done. Looks like you were a good student.
Hey, Sabine. Ahsoka ever teach you how to... What happened between those two? What did I miss?
A lot.
The Empire purged the entire surface of the planet.
Your family?
We're all lost, sadly. Ahsoka felt that if Sabine unlocked her potential, she would become dangerous.
Never thought I'd see him again.
You might not have, had you chosen differently.
So you approve?
Approve or just accept, perhaps?
Yeah.
Over the years, I've made my share of difficult choices. Often no one understood my reasons, except my master. He always stood by me, even when no one else did. And that's why, no matter what happens next, I'm going to be there for you.
Oh, that's nice.
Have you kept up with your training?
I have gained better control over my lightsaber.
Being a Jedi isn't about wielding a lightsaber.
Jedi isn't about wielding a lightsaber, or being a Jedi isn't about wielding a lightsaber. That's a lot of people need to hear that.
Yes.
Oh shit! Oh. Wow, should have just sent TIE fighters after them to begin with. Okay.
Okay.
That's a way to do it. But shit.
Got him.
Yeah. Also lost a ship in the process.
Consider all of the TIE fighters lost. Mark their captain for a citation.
As you wish, Grand Admiral.
Show me the reported location of the attack. Their options to prevent that departure are now severely limited, if not impossible. Which is why we should prepare for a ground assault.
Yeah, of course. Oh, well, you are going to try and fix the ship.
May the Force be with you.
Go now. Let none pass.
So her voice has started to change a little bit, right?
Yeah.
It's not just me.
Oh, okay. That thing is here now.
He's taking the Star Destroyer with him.
Yang, how's it going?
I'm doing the best I can, however, I cannot promise anything.
How are those things able to help? Do they know? Okay, yep.
Well,
Let's try the front door.
Comscan is tracking 2 targets incoming from the north.
Good. Rain hellfire upon them. There'll be no negotiating with the apprentice of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, that whole head-on approach is very Anakin-like.
like almost to the point of arrogance, right?
Whoa.
Ezra! The gate! Sabine, help out!
Can she though? Oh, that was close.
Dispatch the night troopers. Inform the Great Mothers.
Bless you.
Thank you.
that it's time.
Those are my sickness sneezes.
Sneefus.
Fall back. Draw them out. Sabine, blasters.
Yeah, that works better.
Yeah.
So great seeing Ezra with a lightsaber, though. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, now... Yeah, okay. Here's the zombified stormtrooper army that people were wanting.
Or foreshadowing, or not, you're not foreshadowing.
Yeah, I
Expecting.
Has this ever happened before?
No, this is new.
Lucky us.
Well, did they not experience Marek?
Ahsoka did, but like she probably didn't know exactly what was going on there. Oh,
so they just keep on going and going and going?
yeah. Okay. That's a way to stop him. For now.
I missed you.
Could also just start slicing off limbs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be harder for them to get
just
up.
for a scratch. You never know.
The Jedi are advancing swiftly. At this rate, they may get on board the ship, which will be problematic
You're gonna have to sacrifice yourself.
for the Empire.
And those three are going with him. But oh! For death. We got Death Troopers, Death Knight Troopers, Knight Death Troopers.
Did some of them fall?
I don't know, maybe.
Looked like one of them fell on the stairs.
Go on, I'll handle this.
Yeah, of course.
We stay together, remember? You must stop Thrawn.
Where's Shin and Balin?
Well, Shin should be around, right?
Maybe. Well, we already knew that Morgan is a pretty good fighter.
Yeah. But she upgraded, so...
Whoa! Shit. Speaking of upgrades.
Yep.
Oh, damn it.
Come on, Sabine!
Is this it? Oh, look at that! Whoa.
Double tap?
Okay.
Or, yeah, do that.
Off with his head. Alright. There we have it. Confirmed. She can use the Force like that.
Yeah.
Some people are gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Ooh. Ahsoka really backed up into a corner here. You guys are too late.
You can't make that jump.
Yes, you can.
Hmm?
I appreciate the confidence.
No, I pushed you first and you pulled me across.
Ezra and Kanan has done something like this many times before. Oh. Okay. No.
No. He's yeah, right there.
Good shot. Oh, there's Ahsoka. Okay, Ahsoka or Ezra? Oh no!
Solid tactic though.
Yeah, sure. Wow, she is good.
We'll die here. Alone.
Not alone.
Oh, okay, she did stay.
Yeah.
What about Ezra then?
Alone again with Thrawn. 2.0.
Such a nice combo, lightsaber, blaster.
Yeah.
Okay, she dead.
And they felt it.
Morgan is dead.
She has done what was required.
Ezra, what, like, are you gonna do the same thing again? With the Purgle, or like how?
No, because the Purgle, they
Yeah, they bolted.
Yeah.
Understandably so. Are you gonna put on a stormtrooper uniform?
Seems like it, yeah.
Trooper uniform. The good old.
Have the main batteries target the fortress for bombardment.
Affirmative, Grand Admiral.
Whoa. What the what are you?
Just, gambling a bit, yeah.
Ah, okay.
They made it work.
Fix the ship.
Quick.
Yeah. Hu Yang is good at fixing stuff. He's had a lot of practice.
I am diverting all power to the engines. Now.
Oh, they're making ready to jump.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Admiral, we are tracking the Jedi shuttle. It is closing.
Open a channel, please.
Oh, you're just gonna talk to them.
I regret we haven't met face to face, and perhaps now we never shall. Still, I know you, because I knew your master. I concluded your strategies would be similar. One wonders just how similar you might be.
My games!
Oh.
Today, victory is mine. Long live the Empire.
Yeah, they were never gonna be able to catch up to him. But still, Ezra's aboard.
Again, yeah. Aww. I'm just happy to see them again.
Yeah, they're back. They didn't abandon us. Lost your translator though.
Yeah. Gotta communicate through the Force now.
Oh wait, is that Morai?
It's a white owl, at least. A white Huda?
It is. Okay, what does that mean?
Well, okay.
And there's
Shin.
I surrender. Or no, oh, okay, it's those.
Yeah.
I am your new leader. Oh.
Wait.
Damn it. So,
You
the
know
father,
this?
the son, and the daughter is clearly gone, but it's the Mortis gods.
Ah.
And that's why, like, Morai, the owl, is sort of linked to that as well.
Okay, yeah.
Get into it more in the discussion. Okay.
So people have been speculating about that. And
Yeah. They're gonna be involved somehow, and they're going to Dathomir.
Yeah.
I got the new music. Whoa, okay, that's a lot of caskets. That's a lot.
That's a lot of caskets.
What's this?
It's gonna come out.
Oh, it's Ezra. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, so he took Balin and Shin's ship, the one that they were using. He just bolted. Okay. Chopper knows.
Good boy.
Ezra? Hi, Hera. I'm home.
And hug each other.
Nope.
Nope. Well, I knew that reunion was gonna get me.
Thrawn got away.
And thanks to you, Ezra got home. Ezra is where he needs to be. And so are we.
Yeah?
You know something we don't?
It's the will of the Force.
What is it?
I felt like
Felt like...
Something.
What did you see? What did you feel? I knew it. He is watching over her. Okay, that was the last week. I think we saw Anakin freaking Skywalker. Got to see a lot of him
Sure.
in this season, actually. Talked about him a lot as well. Okay. And it was directed by Rick Famuyiwa. So, he directed a lot of the Mandalorian showrunner in season 3. Yeah. Okay. A lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Yes. Strap in. But there we go. That was the season finale of Ahsoka. Very much teeing it up to like a second season. Very, 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 very much so.
Yeah.
And I want to start with saying that like I really enjoyed this finale. I guess I fell victim to setting up or like having certain expectations and hopes and those things not happening. Some of them definitely did. Like the one thing that I'm very happy about, it might sound wrong, but I'm happy that they weren't able to defeat Thrawn. I'm happy that he was able to get away, get to the known galaxy, because that just had to happen. I was hoping for like as soon as he got back, then he was gonna be met with like or like a new Republic fleet was gonna show up, and we were gonna see really see his strategic prowess against in a naval battle, so to say, or space naval. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I guess we've also still seen both in this episode and the previous two, that when it comes to tactics and strategies and so on, like he is very good at what he does, very good at anticipating, but also very good at not underestimating his opponents. Like he's lost to a Jedi once before, as he said, and it's like never again. So I'm glad that he got away. Interesting that they're going to Dathomir, I think.
Yeah, but I think since he went and because we know now that he found the witches when he got there.
Yes.
And they even said it straight out in the episode that he found the witches. So I think the way that he ended up working with them, because if it was me, I have a sneeze coming up.
What the hell was that?
Because if it was me being stranded in the galaxy and whatever, and suddenly someone came up to me and say, "Hey, I just enlivened you. Can you please help me?" I would be like, "What's in it for me?"
I just what you?
Enlivened?
Is that a word?
No, it's not. It's just go with it, man.
Okay, yeah. So, sorry. Yeah.
It's not. It's beside the point. And I would be like, "What's in it for me?" Because, well, they obviously had some goals that they wanted, like they wanted to go home to Dathomir. And there's also they were like probably striking a deal with him and say, "Hey, you do this for us, and we will gladly help you everything. With everything we have.
Dark magics.
Exactly. It's a bit like you have something we want.
Yes.
We have something you might want.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
yeah, and that's definitely I think all the caskets like dead Night Sisters, right?
Yes. So they're gonna re-inhabit. Is that a word?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Dathomir with dead witches now, or can they really resurrect them? Like truly, like how far does their magic go? It is interesting, and I really can't wait to get more into that. And I love how Thrawn now is so linked, or his story is so linked to the Dathomiri, or the Night Sisters. But yeah, of course, lost Morgan in this one. I was sort of anticipating that, like they were going to lose someone. Someone was gonna stay behind and hold them back, and she really put up a good fight. Even like sliced up one of Ahsoka's lightsabers, and now she only has one. I'm sure she can build another one. Like it seems like Huyang has a lot of lightsaber parts and maybe even more kyber crystals laying around on the ship.
Yeah, definitely. And well, yeah, she did put up a good fight, but it was also like when Thrawn was like,
I need you to stay behind.
Yeah, but he didn't even say it.
We need more time.
We need more time, and you could even you could see it on her face. She was like, "Damn it,
yeah, I just got this big upgrade, and now I have to sacrifice myself immediately after." And this cool sword, like the sword of Talzin, that was so cool that they called back to Mother Talzin, of course, that we saw in the Clone Wars, and she was so freaking powerful, but defeated in the end. And there's just so much. But what I also really, really, really want to comment on is the Balin stuff of it all, because, and of course they couldn't know back then
that he was gonna die,
that Ray Stevenson wasn't gonna be. It's so sad, it's so tragic, and just when it comes to this story, I'm then sad that we don't. Well, maybe we do get to see the continuation, because it seems like it's very important, and especially if they are again using the Mortis guards, which is like, that's such a huge significant thing, and something that was such a surprise back when we got the Clone Wars, those episodes. Do you remember the Mortis episodes?
A little bit, yeah, but was that the Clone Wars?
That was in Clone Wars.
Okay, because again, sometimes with Clone Wars and Rebels, because it was like the same animation style, and like sometimes
not quite, but yeah,
kind of. But for me, it was sometimes like with some of the episodes, they kind of like
they blend together.
I
get it.
And I do also because it was such for me, at least with the Mortis, like what I remember is just like it felt such like a standalone, like it was almost like completely severed from the rest.
Yeah.
So it was more like, oh, cool, we're just gonna show you this like saga or this myth or like this thing.
Yeah, something that seems very, very, very significant, but that is never really brought up again. We did see, when we then jumped to Rebels, we did see in the World Between World episodes there, when they got into that stuff, that was also kind of linked to the Mortis guards, because there was like a big mural with them. But essentially, what they are, and like they held, or like they were the balance, and it was the whole thing about Anakin was supposed to take the father's place, and then he was supposed to keep the balance there between the daughter and the son, the light and the dark, but then shit happened, and the daughter died or gave her life to save Ahsoka. So Ahsoka is sort of always going to be linked to the daughter. And that's why the bird Morai, which was also linked to the daughter, is kind of always following Ahsoka around. We just haven't seen Morai in a while, but at least Morai being there signified that, okay, we might get into some of this stuff again. And then we saw Baylan, him standing there on those statues, and it was literally just, we saw the father, we saw the son. The daughter just seemed like she was kind of gone there, like those statues were kind of corroding. Yeah. So just the eroding. Just the thought of just getting into that again is so freaking intriguing. I love that was where he was going, because he was speaking of a greater power, and that is beyond anything that we've seen before or since. But I guess they're gonna have to recast then, because they can't just drop that storyline. It seems too important. Yeah. But I'm so sad that we're not gonna see Ray continuing in that role in that storyline, because that's something that I was like, that's the thing I was most interested in. But also just in this, like, the whole series, you can say what you want about the series, but the most intriguing, the best stuff was always about Baylan and Shin. Yeah. I think, I know I'm not the only one thinking this, but yeah. And it was just like the way that with this character, he was so intriguing, and then he was doing such a great job, you know. His presence was just like, always, like, he stole every scene he was in. And I think that's something that even if you liked everything else or you didn't, I think most people can agree that Baylan and Shin are just great additions to Definitely. Star Wars overall as characters. Again, I was talking about my own hopes and expectations before. Like, I was really hoping that was going to be a main focus of this season finale, that okay, Thrawn was gonna get away and there's nothing that they could do about it, but then we were just gonna stay here and then focus in on, okay, what is Baylan after, and we were gonna get a lot of answers, hopefully. Maybe he was not going to survive the season, and that would then make sense, but now they're just teeing up this really, really, really interesting storyline for him. And then, I'm afraid they're going to have to recast the character if they want to continue that storyline, which I think they really want to. And they can't tease something like that and then just dropping it. Yeah, I love you say they, but we both know what they means, right? Well, yeah, Filoni. Dave Filoni, yeah. Filoni, because he wrote all of this. Yes, like that's all his. This is all Filoni, and it is very Filoni, all of it. And for greater and for worse. And just speaking of Shin, we did also briefly see her. I thought at first she was going to the Nodi camp, and being like, I surrender, and yes, I'll take you up on your offer, Ahsoka, help me. Of course not. Seems like she is now going to lead these samurai-looking outlanders, and she's gonna become sort of a foil to Ahsoka and Sabine and Hu Yang going into the second season, because they're also gonna stay there. And Ahsoka even said, like, it's time to move on, meaning both just literally probably like we're just moving to a different place where the Nodi are nomads and they're always moving around, but also move on from our attachment to what's going on in the known galaxy and focus on the here and now, what we can do here, what's going to happen here. So that's also, really intriguing. I was really wondering if they were going to let if they were going to let Ahsoka and the others just remain in this new galaxy, because that it seemed like a big risk, a big gamble doing that and not letting us see the reunion, for example, between Ezra and Hera. But we did get that, because Ezra got back to the known galaxy, and I'm glad that he didn't try to take on Thrawn again single-handedly, because I was really afraid that, Ezra's aboard now, so they are gonna stop Thrawn here, and then he's gonna lose again, and damn it. But that wasn't the case. He just took Baylan and Shin's ship and went to the New Republic. Mm-hmm. And then we did get the reunion, but they cut it off too quickly. Damn it. I got emotional there because Hera is like a mother to Ezra and in like the Rebels crew.
The whole crew, yeah.
Yeah, she was the mom of the crew. And her seeing Ezra again and basically, getting her lost son back. Of course, she has Jason, her real son, but she always regarded Ezra as, I'm sure,
surrogate son?
As a surrogate son, yeah. And then Kanan being the surrogate father. And she lost Kanan, and then she lost Ezra. And that was, I'm sure, such a big blow, and I can't even imagine. So her seeing him again, him coming back, that must mean everything to her. And I can't wait to see Ezra and Jason interact now.
Yeah.
That's going to be great.
I think some of the things in this episode... At least for me, there was a lot of focus on like that whole relationship between your master and between master and apprentice.
I think that's been the entire season.
Sure,
yeah.
But I think right here there was a lot of a lot more, or I don't know, it was just more apparent to me at least.
Yeah.
And we had a whole thing with Ezra and Kanan where Yang even talked about
and the lightsabers.
And that Caleb was always a good boy, and that he wanted to he kept that one thing for the lightsaber
emitter.
In case he ever needed it again. So it was very
Ezra getting a similar lightsaber to Kanan in honor of his old master. That was beautiful.
Yes, but that's also with the whole seeing Hera again when he came back. It was I don't know if it's just me, but everything we had something with Hera or with the Ezra in particular. I always feel like Kanan's always there,
Yes.
Somehow he's
always watching over, and that's we saw that in Rebels. Towards the very end, after Kanan had passed, that we saw his spirit or force ghost kind of standing behind Hera and putting his hand on her shoulder, as in to say I'm always going to be watching over you. And she felt that, she knew that. So people saying that Hera can't feel the force, go back to Rebels, because she surely can't, because there were a lot of people giving the series shit for when she also heard what Jason heard. It's established, we know, and Filoni is very true to what George always said, and George said that the Force is in everyone. Everyone has that ability to tap into the Force. It's just about discipline and talent. That's just how it is.
Yeah, but I just feel like that was, and I don't even know how they made it came across like that, but it just felt like Kanan was always there, even though he wasn't. And I know it's probably just me just projecting a lot of stuff into this. But
I don't think so. They also made it very clear in the very end that Anakin is always watching over Ahsoka. And I love the Anakin of it all throughout this series, because there was such a big focus on showing us the good sides of Anakin. The really good person that he was, the hero and the amazing mentor, master who always believed in his student. And yes, of course, there's the big obvious, he became Darth Vader. But that's not really important to who he was. It doesn't negate his good deeds.
No,
I think what was a big point of this as well.
She knew all of her teachings came from Anakin, not Vader.
Yes.
And I know, of course, he became Vader, and
and
there was still a lot of that pre-Vader stuff, all of the and the inklings of all the feelings and everything that's still kind of instilled in her through his training. But I think that's also why she, in a way, how she just denied the Jedi way, or else she I don't know how to.
She was sort of cutting herself off and not allowing herself to get attached and so on.
No. What I mean is just that she literally turned her back on the Jedis.
On the Jedi Order, yeah.
And being a Jedi and had troubles finding herself in being a Jedi.
Yeah.
And I still don't consider her completely a Jedi. Like in that, you know, classical sense with no attachments and like that, you know.
She's what the Jedi should be.
Debatable, but but I mean, it's just like that there are still some like dark side teachings, perhaps, like or will like something that like draws from the dark side. It's still enough to, you know, it just makes her more like a fully formed human being. That's at least how I see it. I feel like if you go completely like the classical why why Jedi kind of, I don't know if that's, this is just my take on it at least, so I don't know anything about that, but if you go completely like strict almost like monk kind of Jedi way, then there's a lot of things that you don't allow yourself to tap into the dark side and everything. But it's also like, I feel like you are much stronger as a person if you're allowed to tap into it and allowed to feel your feelings and emotions, but you also don't let yourself, like, you don't succumb to it.
Yeah, it's more of a balance.
Exactly. And so that's also why I related so much to Ahsoka, because she didn't want to be that kind of Jedi. And I also feel like Anakin, in a way, at least start Anakin, because like that's the whole thing, right? Because he builds attachment to Padme and everything. Yeah. And then like because of all the hurt, of course, then he ended up succumbing to the dark side, all that.
Yeah.
But like the pre-Vader stuff, like the Anakin stuff, I feel like he was allowing himself attachments, and perhaps it's more with Obi-Wan that he was also attached to people, but without it becoming like, he never succumbed to the dark side.
No, he didn't. Like
he got the whole thing, a hell of a PTSD, but
the whole thing with Satine, of course, and everything they hinted at there. But yeah, with Anakin, it were a lot of times where he definitely did not agree with the Jedi Order or the Jedi Council, and that comes all the way because. And I think Huang said it at one point during the season as well, that they come from a long line of non-traditional Jedi. It's starting with like Yoda was teaching Dooku, definitely not traditional there. Dooku teaching Qui-Gon, he was not traditional at all. He also, you know, clashed with the Jedi Council very often. Then teaching Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan was probably the most traditional of them. Well, still not quite. And then, of course, Anakin, and then Anakin teaching Ahsoka now teaching Sabine. So it is this, long line of non-traditional Jedi. But something that had also been pointed out many times is like the way that the Jedi Order and the Jedi Council, they were behaving. It was like maybe they had lost their way a bit and they were becoming too dogmatic in their views.
Yeah, and also I think they were too, and I might be wrong about this, but I feel like they were too politically like invested in.
Definitely. That was a big part of it.
Perhaps even to the point where it's like there was also a bit of like money in it, you know, like
corruption in some way. Exactly, I don't think they necessarily craved.
No. It was not like money in that regard, but more like, you know, resources and who do you build your alliance with, and again like politics. In a way where it's like you start to lose the sight of what you really are.
Yeah, what you should be, and keepers of the peace and all, not soldiers. But yeah, there's just so much of that, and as you said, like the master and apprentice relationship. Ahsoka, Anakin, Ahsoka and Sabine, and Ezra and Kanan, Baylan and Shin, and I loved all of that throughout the season. I really, really did.
Yeah, but in this episode, in this episode, we also saw, because, well, she talked with Sabine, and even, like, they also had a little bit, like, because I haven't really talked about what happened, so it was like, I are you mad at me?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, not really, because, well, you had a difficult choice ahead of you, and
Yes.
I have had to choose.
I've had many difficult choices, or had
Yes.
to make many difficult choices through time.
Yeah, so she related to her.
Yeah, and Anakin was always there.
And I
supporting her.
and I also think that there was also a huge change there, because feeling accepted and feeling like she was like heard, seen, heard, understood by Ahsoka also really like cemented some faith in her, because we also know that it's been complicated between those two. But that's also led her to the difficult choice between, should I jump to Ezra or should I stay with Ahsoka?
That was a difficult choice. Yeah.
And if they didn't have this conversation beforehand, I'm not sure she would have gone back to Ahsoka. She would have gone after Ezra, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, definitely. But succeeded in the way that like she wanted Ezra to get home. He got home, and she did get to see him again, and who knows if they're going to see each other. I think they are, but it's probably just going to be a little while, and we're going to have to figure out how they're going to get back to the known galaxy. I think it's then going to have to do with also what Balin is after, and the Mortis Guards, World Between Worlds. That's going to come into play, because we've already done the Purgle thing. I don't know if they can get they can find any more Purgle out there.
I think they were like, our patience with you is over.
Yeah.
We've done this too many times, and we get
into
nothing.
a minefield.
Yeah, we
Fuck
get
this.
nothing out of this.
Yeah. But that, yeah, I can't wait for the second season. Now, hopefully we are going to get that. Something else that also happened in this episode, and they have sort of been teasing it throughout the season, and it was a question of, okay, is it going to happen? Isn't it going to happen? Sabine using the Force in the way that with Force push and pull as well, and she did it in this one, and some people are gonna be mad about it. I'm like, they've been sort of teeing it up, and I was, at first I was a little bit like, I don't want it to happen, and I still guess would prefer maybe if she didn't, but it's like, it doesn't really bother me now, because I've just gotten used to the thought of it. Okay, it's gonna happen. Like, they're not gonna tee it up like that without it not happening. I feel like.
I just feel like it's such a powerful message that you can still be a Jedi without having any real talent for the Force. That's just some of my things.
Yeah.
Like where it's also why I really loved, one of the very few things about The Last Jedi that I really loved was that Ray was a nobody. Ray came from no one.
Yeah.
Was a nobody. And she still had, like, she was so talented with the Force.
Yes.
And then,
she's a Palpatine.
Yeah, like that was just. I think that's what, because it's such a powerful message. Where it's like, this is the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
It's like that you can be extremely powerful and skilled without necessarily being related to that. You can come from nothing. You can come from like. You can be poor. You don't have to have the privilege of being well off to succeed in life. And then the other side that, well, you don't have to be extremely powerful. Like, you don't have to have a freaking bloodline, and you don't have to have necessarily huge talent for what you do, as long as you do it with like conviction and you.
Yeah, you can still follow that way without necessarily having those traditional Force powers, but as soon as they also said, or Ahsoka said in this episode, that being a Jedi is not about just being good with a lightsaber, that was when I also knew, okay, like, it's definitely going to happen. They're gonna lean more into that. And it was also with Ezra in the previous one, where Sabine was like, here, take your lightsaber, and was like, no, I'm good. I'm like, the Force is my ally. I don't need it. And being a Jedi, being one with the Force, like, it doesn't require you to be a badass with a lightsaber. So again, leaning into that, Ezra did get a lightsaber in this one, and it was cool seeing, like, there's some cool action going on in this one, and it was cool seeing the white blades and then the green and blue, like in one shot. If you just want to, focus on the visual and action aspect of it all. And speaking of the of the action, we got the zombies.
We sure did.
We sure did.
Still didn't get to see Captain Enoch though.
No, we did not, but he survived. So
we're gonna see him again.
Yes, so that's great for Wes Chatham that he's gonna continue in that role. But just going back to, we got the zombie stormtroopers, night troopers. They did the whole reanimate dead thing, and that was pretty damn terrifying. And if you use those powers again, and Thrawn keeps being in an alliance with the Night Sisters, then that's going to be a huge problem for the New Republic. And then also like those Death Troopers are just so difficult to kill. Like Death Troopers are always more of a challenge than just the usual Stormtroopers, but this was just way beyond that. Like this was almost like end level boss sort of a deal. Very difficult to kill. Same with Morgan again, of course, like really good with that Talcin blade. Cool fighting there, although she did lose in the end. Do you have anything else to any of that?
No.
Okay, then just a few other things for me. I don't know, nitpicks or whatever, but having their ship getting shot down again, I think T6 TIE Fighter, T6. Sorry, like me and like I'm usually fairly good at remembering stuff when it comes to Star Wars, but for some reason when it comes to ship names and also sometimes droids, and like when there are like letters and numbers involved, my brain just goes nope, not gonna stay in there. But anyway, the ship got shut down and had to be fixed again, and it happened a little bit quick, and then it was a bit convenient that okay, just as they jump and oh no, what, and then they're standing on the ship, and we've just seen that type of stuff happen a lot before, and especially also with Filoni, and I guess that was also what you meant before with like it's very Filoni, both the good and the bad, if you want to call it that. So that was a bit convenient, I guess. We didn't lose Hu Yang. Like, we were very afraid that was going to happen, and even included that line in the trailer that I hope I live to see the outcome. It's like, oh no. But, he survives, and David Tennant is also still going to be a part of the series, which is great, because having him in this series was just it elevated it again. Because I love Ahsoka and Sabine, and great having Ezra back, and Hera, Chopper, like the characters that we knew were gonna be in this, but then having the additions of Hu Yang being such a big part of it, and then new characters like Baylan and Shin, like really stand out, and the Great Mothers, and of course Thrawn, Lars Mikkelsen did a great job here, and I love his portrayal of Thrawn. Cold and calculated, but also honorable in some sense, or like definitely, and the way he treats his own, like the people working for him, like he's not just brushing them off, and it doesn't feel like he's just willing to sacrifice them just because, and just like throw people at the problem.
No, he did say when some of the
TIE Fighter pilots died.
Yeah, that get them a like caption or citation or something.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So he wants to honor their sacrifice. So they're just not expendables.
And it did seem like he regretted that he had to sacrifice Morgan. Like he didn't want to do that.
No, but he's very much like
the ends justify the means.
Yeah, very much a utilitarian in that regard. Yeah, where it's like they did what they were supposed to do, or well, that's acceptable losses, stuff like that.
Yes. So even though he might care about them, he's still very much willing to also.
I don't know if he necessarily cares about them, but at least he's like.
He's not indifferent.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
He's not just, as you say, he's not just like
He's not cold in that way.
He's not spilling their lives.
Yeah, he's not
left
Vader,
and right,
who's just
because-
like force choking officers left and right and
Yeah.
just willing to sacrifice I don't know how many stormtroopers and entire Star Destroyers and just like, I don't care about you. Yeah, so Thrawn, again, so glad he's back. And now, I guess the long wait for season 2 or the movie or whatever we get first. Yeah, do you have any more thoughts?
I don't know. I'm quite tired.
Yeah, me too. I'm exhausted. I'm gonna need a break. I can really feel like
fire.
same, like the sickness is like pulling me down, or however you want to phrase it. And I'm sure there are things that we maybe didn't get into or didn't mention, but feel free to discuss in the comments. Just be nice, be polite, even if you liked it, if you didn't, and let others have their opinions, please. There's nothing.
Don't
right or
yuck
wrong.
on people's yum, man.
Yes, you couldn't have said it better. So, the only thing left is just Danish word of the day, and then we will wrap it up. And I'm pretty sure we haven't done this one before, but home, because it just seems quite relevant for this episode. Ezra got to go home, and I guess Thrawn and the others got home to, like, back home to the known galaxy. The Night Sisters and Dathomir, you know, that's also a home to them and something that they lost and now they can get back. Ahsoka and Sabine, their new home is this new galaxy, I guess. So yeah, home in Danish is
Yep.
Yep.
And it's one of those funny words with like a silent letter.
Mhm.
It's the H, it's silent.
Yeah.
We have those once in a while. And
Yeah.
here it's yim.
And that's pretty much it. Home in English and yep in Danish. And there you go. Danish word of the day, and that'll do it for this reaction and review of Ahsoka Part 8. And that's it for the first season. I've said it many times, but can't wait for the eventual second season. It's coming. Come on. There must be a second season. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you as soon as possible. May the Force be with you.
Bye.